Welcome, friends, students, and other people. This is the first time that I decided to talk during my videos. So what you can see here is part of my private mobility work. I am stretching the anterior chain and also the posterior chain. It's nothing special or new, just stuff that my body wants to do every now and then. Open up my body, and I'm also preparing for my leg workout. As you all know, we are in the middle of a crisis, which is called the Corona crisis. But it doesn't mean that you cannot train. You can train actually even more focused because you're alone. You're not distracted by friends or other people, especially when you're outside. And this is the first day that the government of the Netherlands decided they told us not to go outside. And I didn't want to take any chances where the police comes and etc. So what you can see here is called the shrimp squat, or the advanced one, because you hold your feet with your hands. It's pretty difficult, especially the balance. If you're not used to this movement, it can be very, very hard. So I learned this actually from the blog post of Ido Portal. I consider him as my teacher because I have done some online coaching for over a year in total, actually more than 1.5 years. So I recommend people to search up his work on his old blog, when you can see how to build up in a safe way this type of movement. Because even if you can back squat a lot, it doesn't necessarily mean much, because you also have to have the acquired mobility, etc. So actually, very important thing is to remember. Sometimes I come across people that only work on their mobility, which is actually fine, but you can fall in some kind of a trap. You can work only on your mobility and never actually try the movement. So I encourage those people to actually try the movement every now and then. And on the other hand, you have people that only try the movements and never actually understand that they have some kind of a blockage. So those people I would encourage to also learn about mobility, because it can help you a lot. So during my talk about mobility, you could see right now I am doing the horse stance. I'm doing 5 minutes of horse stance. It is at this moment very challenging, because I just unlocked this movement by sheer willpower. I tried not to build it up. Sometimes you can also fall in a trap of approaching everything safely and adding 10 seconds a week, etc., etc. But I once at one day decided to just go for it. That's also a way how you can unlock new stuff. And I learned lots of stuff about the internal, because it's some kind of a meditation. I'm not in any way schooled in meditation, so I do not find myself in the position to talk in depth about the subject. But what I can say is, because you have to stay still and you feel the pain in your legs, it does something with your mind. And I had a student of mine doing the same thing. I knew he never tried the 5-minute one. He told me his record was 4 minutes. So I told him one day, come, my friend, let's go into the horse stance. And because that friend of mine and a student is also, he loves martial arts. So I started beforehand to talk to him about what are you going to do in a fight. So in a fight, you feel pain, you get tired, etc., etc. And a fighter shouldn't stop because of those reasons. Well, a fight is even worse than a horse stance. So after 4 minutes, I start to talk to him to put him through. Come on, breathe, etc., etc. And then he got it. So, and the nice thing about this, once you have done it once, you will understand that you can always do it. So let this be encouragement to every now and then. Try some hard stuff, and you will be surprised what your mind can do. So I think I will stop talking because actually this is the first time I am making a video where I talk to people because during this corona crisis I thought, you know what, I'll try to do something new, something I've never done before. And in daily life I talk a lot actually, but it never crossed my mind to talk through a video. So during this crisis, I had actually this funny idea, because my company is called Anti-Fragile Movement, and anti-fragile is a name that was being it was invented by Nassim Taleb, which is actually it talks about things that gain from disorder. And during this crisis, I looked at my book again and I saw the title, Things That Gain from Disorder. So I should be gaining from disorder. So I had this theme that during this crisis, you can actually become better. And if you become better, well, then you're also anti-fragile. So instead of seeing this crisis as a thing to block yourself, you should think of ways to become better. And bodyweight training that you can see here and in all my other videos is actually an excellent way to train without necessary tools. It doesn't mean that I don't use tools, weights, etc., barbells, but I always loved the fact that you can do stuff in a minimal way, so that you don't overuse stuff or use it as an excuse to not train. For example, not training the legs. As you can see here, I'm starting to breathe a lot because I'm in pain now. So I'm trying to focus that aside. So yeah, so the bodyweight training is very, very powerful. But you should also use your head a lot because the technique involved is also important. So I have talked enough for this video. If you guys like this video, I can make more. If you don't like it, also fine. So thank you very much and see you next time.